Sponsored by the Mike Morris Law Firm. 855 Mike wins. Jason Carr Live starts now.
Hey, what's going on there? Tie's a little bit loose.
What's happening?
What's happening, Milton? I just want my stapler. Another day, another controversy involving someone being kicked off an overbooked flight. I told you the summer of the shark continues.
Yes, it does.
A Southern California family says they were kicked off a Delta flight because they refused to give up a seat held by their young son. The Shear family says they were flying from Hawaii to Los Angeles last week when airline staff asked them to give up a seat occupied by their 2-year-old and carry him on their laps instead. They tried to refuse and argued with airline staff, but say they were threatened with being sent to jail. Shear says he originally bought the seat for his 18-year-old, but then decided to send him home on an earlier flight so that they could use the seat for Grayson, age 2.
Now we'll take a quick look at the video. It's an 8-minute video, but we'll at least watch the first little bit of it here.
So their policy is if you're not going to abide, you're going to have to get off the plane. You have to be.
Well, then they can remove me off the plane.
You and your whole
So then
family.
it's going to be a federal offense, and then you and your wife will be in jail, and your kids will be.
Okay. So my kid, so my wife's, we're going to be in jail, and my kids are going to be what?
It's a federal offense if you don't abide by.
I bought that seat.
Okay, I understand it's for Mason. Mason's not here.
Right.
So you still.
Right, I paid. I got him a ticket on another flight so that my son would have a seat. And you're saying you're just gonna give that away to someone else. That when I paid for that seat, that's not right.
I understand, but that Mason's not here, so the seat. So
You need to do what's right. I bought the seat, and you need to just leave us alone.
Yeah. So Mason.
So like I said, this is an 8-minute video. It goes on and on. We're going to have it on Click On here soon. But it's just again this argument of common sense versus the rules, and looking at this rule and saying, is this really enforceable? And the real problem here is this flight attendant basically told him, look, if you don't get off this plane, you and your wife are going to go to jail, and your kids are going to be in foster care. And it's pretty
Well,
harsh.
eventually he agreed to hold his son in his lap for the entire flight, but it was too late. The airline said the whole family had to leave. That was around midnight. They had to round up the 2 toddlers, a hotel room, and then they had to pay all that airfare, like $2,000 in airfare on United the next day.
On United.
How just enraged would you be?
I mean, to be stuck in an airport overnight, especially with kids. I mean, it's again, we're going to be seeing a lot of these stories all summer.
As I pointed out, and I'll take the credit as being the first to point this out, we are developing into a Time magazine cover story instead of Summer of Shark, which was the summer of 2001. Now we have the summer of the air rage, or oversold. What would you call it? Oversold misery.
Oversold misery. Now I have there was another video from a different angle of this exact thing happening. And let's take a quick look at that one.
Get off my plane. It's like one of the greatest moments in the stirring music. If you remember, if you're old enough to have seen this movie in theaters, that is such a crowd-stirring moment. Kind of like when Samuel L. Jackson, says, I'm tired of these snakes, but when Samuel L. Jackson gets eaten in that shark movie, Deep Blue something, and you don't see it coming, and the entire theater just goes, no way! Great movie.
Great movie.
Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
Executive Decision with Kurt Russell wasn't bad either. That was a pretty good one. I don't know if anybody saw that, but any of you guys see that?
I haven't seen that one, no.
You have a staff today. Who is this motley assortment of?
Isn't this so much fun? I got both. I got one guy running this. I got this guy training. It's great.
Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth, will stop carrying public engagements officially. It will stop carrying a schedule of engagements this fall. He's 95 years young. And apparently the Queen is fully supporting her husband's decision to stop doing public events. No details about his health. An emergency meeting was held at Buckingham Palace. John says that he has video of that meeting.
This is the emergency meeting that was held this morning.
Bring out your dead. Here's one. Ninepence. I'm not dead. What? Nothing. Here's your ninepence.
He says he's
I'm
not dead.
Yeah. He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. I'm not. He is.
Quiet,
Well,
you will be in a
soon. He's
moment.
very ill. I'm getting better. No, you're not. You'll be stone dead in a moment. I can't take it like that. Against regulation. I don't want to
I'm
go.
getting better.
Oh, don't be such a baby.
He's
I can't
bleeding,
take
pushing
it.
up the daisies. All right. A fire truck was parked outside a toddler's home, and that toddler just happened to be looking out the window. In case you can't tell, he loves fire trucks. The firemen were letting water pressure out of a hydrant.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one.
The fire truck is here. The fire truck is here. On the street, right here. It's outside. Right here.
You say fire. What's going on? What'd you say? How about that? Breaking news. May 4th, what? 1846. Kid's really excited.
Yeah.
Pope Francis beatified Father Solanus Casey, a Detroit priest and co-founder of the city's Capuchin Soup Kitchen. The beatification is the first step toward sainthood in the Catholic Church.
That's a pretty big deal. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, you know, we cover all bases on this program, including this. Oh my gosh, what? Did that elephant just kick a soccer ball into somebody's head? Oh man.
I love how the other elephant sets him up too. Just passes it to him.
By the way, may the 4th be with you all. It is Star Wars Day.
It's Star Wars Day.
Like,
Yeah.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you. And with you also. A woman who returns home to Pigeon, a Brooklyn, New York woman, got an unusual surprise when she returned home from a long trip. The pregnant pigeon had made itself at home and laid 2 eggs inside a pasta strainer in her apartment. Homeowner says she left a window slightly ajar. Your door is ajar. Which was just enough to let the mama bird inside the home. Nobody was willing to take in the orphans, so that's when she decided to let the mama bird stay until they decided to fly the coop. Animal experts say pigeons pose only minimal health risks to humans.
Would you let a pigeon live in your home?
No.
No, me neither. No.
Put it on the roof or something.
There's no terrace. She can't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I think there are eviction laws. You know, you need to give this pigeon 6 months to find a new place.
The rent is too damn high. A campaign on Indiegogo is planned on making banana-shaped phones a reality. The Bluetooth-enabled phone works by connecting to your smartphone and letting you take calls from your banana phone. The crowdsourced campaign has raised over $9 grand, is still a long way from its $30,000 goal. You better act fast.
But I mean, this is a dream come true, isn't it? Now, what I love about this is this guy must be such a banana enthusiast that he has a shirt with banana print on it.
You know that the familiar banana from the grocery store is a certain kind of banana that's been sort of bred, cloned, bred, whatever. I mean, whatever euphemism you want to use, but it's been grown over time and is now being threatened by some sort of fungus or something and could end up going extinct, as it were.
And then they would have to clone or create a new banana. This is the second time it's happened, because the original banana that everyone knew and loved back in the 50s or something, I guess, was much sweeter than the bananas we eat today. So they're expecting, and then they had to do this cloning process that made a duller banana, and that's going to end up happening again.
Well, now you're all caught up on banana news. A rare albino orangutan is being cared for by an animal protection group in Indonesia after being rescued. The 5-year-old, white-haired, blue-eyed female orangutan was being held captive in a remote village on the island of Borneo. Look at that.
Yeah.
Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. Ooh, Dr. Zayas.
It's amazing.
That's
Blue
a
eyes
double.
and-
That's a double pop culture reference there. Actually, it's a triple.
Triple on 3 levels.
Yeah. Rack me, Amadeus. You're making a Falco reference to an 80s pop song. You're making a Simpsons reference and a Planet of the Apes reference. That's in triplicate right there. That is like pop culture nerd nirvana.
Now, you were reading when I had the side key up, but did you see this one?
Ooh, wanna be just like you. Teresa says she almost missed the show. She just remembered.
Set an alarm.
Dr. Zayas. Who's hating on Star Wars?
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody's hating on Star Wars in here?
There's always
Cavendish
one.
bananas are indeed being wiped out, says Roberta. Cavendish, that's right. Chicken Tonight commercial. The second that I saw this pop up on boingboing.net and saw adults do, I was like, oh, it's Chicken Tonight.
introduces Chicken Tonight simmer sauce.
I don't
feel
remember
like
this.
chicken tonight.
Everybody's saying, I feel like chicken tonight, like chicken tonight, chicken tonight.
This is what
From
commercials
4
were
new
like in the
sauces.
80s,
Each
John.
one's made with real vegetables and herbs. So you can
I
make
mean, it's
dishes
so
like
real.
country French
This is
chicken
how
and
I
chicken
dance every time.
cacciatore.
Like whenever
Just
there's
brown the chicken,
whatever the meal
simmer,
is,
and serve.
there's a dance for it.
Chicken Tonight. This was when
New
jingles
Chicken
were
Tonight simmer
key,
sauces
too.
From Ragu.
I
think
immediately
jingles
remembered
still are
this
key.
song. Also remembered Open in a Jar, a pizza quick sauce, open your own pizzeria,
I mean, jingles are incredible. I still sing the Mentos song all the time.
the Fresh Maker. Apparently you can still get this.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. You can get anything on Amazon.
Is it the original in the or are they still bottling it? Helen, we're told that you can still get it on Amazon, although I haven't personally tried. The Fresh Maker.
Fresh Maker.
Michelle, Sherry says they were the best jingles. I love the old commercial jingles, adds Deb Coffee. Do you know that you can get a 1,000-pack of beer? There it is, right there. Where is this?
Finland.
That is a 1,000-pack of beer. 1,000 paki.
I mean, do we want to count them right now?
2,160 euros.
I mean, that's a steal, isn't it? I don't know.
They said it comes to
It's
little
a-
over
it's a
$2
pallet.
a bottle.
Yeah. It's a pallet of beer.
Can.
That is a full pallet of beer. Jim says, anybody remember the old Detroit Zoo commercial? Well, of course.
Okay, hold on.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. This place is a zoo.
I know the one they're all like getting ready for their close-up.
My lines, my lines. I can't remember my lines. My makeup, my makeup. Bow, bow, bow,
Give me
bow,
a
boo.
quick second, I'll see if you know what. Actually, we can find it on YouTube.
Okay, guys, this way. Nice going, Melvin.
Yeah, that's the one.
Did you find it?
Yeah, we found it. 1 second. Let's see. Yep,
My makeup,
Make
my
it full
makeup.
screen.
5 minutes, everybody. 5 minutes. No audio.
There's no audio? No. I don't know where the audio is going to come from. So, well, anyways, this is what it looks like.
This way, guys. And then they go back the other way. Nice going, Melvin.
Well, next time.
That was the Bing Crosby, the bow, bow, ba boo.
I'll have it ready for tomorrow.
Whoever did this was a genius. I think that debuted in 1982. 82 or 84.
Hello? Hello? This thing on? Hello?
And that was Ian with a banana phone. Oh, boy. On Saturday, Michigan's Empty the Shelters event was a huge success with thousands of dogs being adopted across our fair state. But in Harbor Springs, one shelter was left with one lonely dog who did not get adopted. His name is Eastwood. Born with leg deformities, was found nearly blind, wandering in the cold. He's going to need like $4,000 in surgery at some point. Well, fortunately, once they publicized Eastwood was all by himself at the shelter, somebody stepped up, and that person was Stan Van Gundy. Says his 17-year-old daughter begged him to adopt Eastwood, so he did.
Right on, Eastwood.
Which means he made his day. Sorry. We don't have enough 80s cultural references in this show today. Brian, what year were you born?
94.
94.
94.
1994.
1994.
Same. I was also 94.
Jacob, you too?
Yes.
I'm older than both of you combined?
Probably, yeah.
Great. Thank you, Stan, for adopting instead of shopping, says Deb Coffee. Does Michelle mean to say love that, Jason? Buffy says, oh my God, I'm old, LOL. Tammy says, you guys make my morning so much better.
Oh, it's nice. Yeah. It's tough with this weather outside.
Putting in that work.
Now we're let's take this full screen. We're taking a look at the Will Ferrell cat cam, and this just a terrible view they're giving us. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Cat's butt.
I guess so.
That's like the super close-up of cellulite we had on Live in the D yesterday. You didn't know quite what you were looking at first, and you're like, oh, wait a second, that's... Hey, look at that. Let's go back to Delta, our top story for another visit of this. Another day, another controversy about someone being kicked off an overbooked flight. A Southern California family says they were kicked off an overbooked Delta airplane because they refused to give up a seat that was purchased by them for their 2-year-old. An airline employee told the dad, under FAA regulations, 2-year-old children are not supposed to have their own seats at all and are really supposed to be sitting on their parents' laps for the duration of the flight. There is a heated exchange here. This is Dad, and he's going back and forth saying, no, I put my older son on an earlier flight. We bought this seat for my 2-year-old. We paid for it. It's our seat. And the staff's like, no, we're oversold. You have to, sir, you have to get up. Eventually, after all of this back and forth, they agreed, okay, fine, we'll give up the seat. But it was too late. The airline said the whole family had to leave. That was around midnight, and the couple and their 2 toddlers were left having to scramble for a hotel room and pay $2,000 for another flight the next day on United.
Yeah.
So after Delta sort of trolled United about how United handled that whole oversold situation, and Delta was like, well, we'll never do that. We're swell. We'll pay you up to $10,000 if we kick you off the flight. Well, then now here, it's a whole new week, and Delta's the one in the crosshairs.
Yeah. Now there's a portion of this I'm going to try and find because, like I said, it's a long video,
I bought this seat.
I understand, but the federal policy said that the names of in the air after it's in the air.
I've been on many flights where
I know you guys are frustrated.
Okay, so this is
and they violate
a woman comes up and
federal
introduces
policy on a regular
little
basis.
passive aggressive.
I've been on many flights before. But if I don't, that's what they're gonna do.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm Jenna. I'm in charge. I know you guys are frustrated. Hi. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I already know the situation. I've heard you guys said I know the man. Other than what's going on, is there anything else I can do? I know you guys are frustrated now. Basically what it comes down to is on adult people, it's FAA because he's 2 and under.
Okay, I got a solution. He can sit in her lap.
Right.
Okay, and then we can take off, and then we can put him back in the car seat. That's what FAA rules are.
No,
the
with
bottom
him,
line
with
is
him being, no, they're not. We're pulling him up right now. With him being 2, he cannot sit in a car seat. He needs. That's the purpose of infant arms. He has to sit in your arms the whole time. He can, like technically he couldn't even be on a seat.
he rode on a car seat the whole way out here on a Delta flight.
And that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just trying to do the best I can now. But what I'm letting you know is, unfortunately, he can't be there. I wish I could help you guys. Like I really do.
What you're saying makes no sense because we flew out here on a Delta plane and he sat in a car seat.
According to the rules we're pulling out right now, he technically cannot be in a car seat because he's in the arms.
Okay,
they're doing it right now, and they're going to clarify before I misspeak.
Okay.
So I'll just stop you there. They're doing it, and they're going to print it out in black and white, so that way whether I'm wrong or they're wrong, that doesn't matter. The situation is this plane is not going to move until we get you guys up, and that's fine. We can all sit here all night if that's what you guys want to do.
Okay, but that's wrong. I
think that is wrong.
I paid.
If you guys just want to, stay here all day, this is what. It's just you don't treat people this way.
I paid for the seat.
And I understand
Right.
that. I understand
Okay,
that.
but
what I'm
if
saying-
your stance is that he cannot be in that seat when the plane
As far
takes
as I
off.
know.
Okay,
No,
but-
he cannot be in a seat at all because he's in infant arms. And I get that it was handled
Wait,
incorrectly.
Which that there is incorrect. The FAA does not say that a 2-year-old cannot be in a seat. In fact, Delta on their website says that they encourage you to buy a seat for your 2-year-old.
Of course they do. They want to make money.
Of course.
2 kids, 2 car seats, go all the way through.
Can we hear some more?
The gateway and through the gate, and then they come down and say that we have to get off this plane, and that's the seat you're talking about. So
Right, and I
you're
get that.
physically gonna remove my.
I'm not going to. It's out of my hands now. I'm just letting you know from this point on, this plane will not go anywhere until you guys choose to. Now you can sit here. We can all just chill here. I'm just trying to help you. This is all I can do. It's only in my hands now.
Trying
So
to
they're gonna
help us would have been not overselling the flight and not trying to force us to get him out of that seat that I paid for
get that.
and holding this whole plane up. It would have been a lot easier for you guys to just say,
Right.
not have that standby come
Right.
down and
I get
we
that.
could be on our way.
I get that too. I wish it would.
So why didn't that happen? Why isn't that happening?
I don't know, but as far as I know, he can no longer occupy that seat. So, like I said, I'm just giving you what's left. So it's your choice. We can sit here for the next 4 hours if you want, 5 hours. Sit here till tomorrow, but this plane will not be. And so I told you guys, I wanted to give you guys a courtesy to introduce myself, and I get that that's not helping you.
How is that giving us a courtesy? Like,
You know what? I was just coming to say hi and try to be, but I apologize. I shouldn't give you something. I'll let them handle it, and then you guys can go from there. Okay? You guys go? Yeah, they're coming. Thank you.
I think that is that an option? Is that an option for us at this point, just to hold the baby so that we can take off, or are they saying no? Okay, ask them.
Okay, so this is where we're at now at this point. There's an option to have you guys all off the flight, or we're going to reclaim the whole aircraft and
So we're getting kicked off this plane no matter what now.
yeah, so I told you that in the beginning. You had 2 options, and now it's coming too far.
So what are we supposed to do? I got 2 infants on my wife who have nowhere to stay. There's no more flights. What are we supposed to do? Sleep in the airport? No. You should have thought about that before you oversold the flight. I paid for that seat. I paid for that seat. So now we're getting kicked off the
Which option did
plane.
you want to take? Did you want to get off on your own?
So wait, what are we supposed to do once we're off this plane?
That is not up to me, and the rest is everybody.
Well, it
wants to
should
go
be.
home. It's not. At this point, you guys are on your own.
What about our bags?
We'll have to get your bags off. And that'll be-
So they're gonna go onto the plane and get our bags off. Then.
Yes, they will.
What do you want to do? What are we gonna do?
You stand up and get off, or we get everybody else
Okay,
off.
here's the thing though. There's things that my kids have to have that are in those bags.
We will get all your bags off, sir.
Is that the one? You want to go? Okay.
Okay, so stay here. Okay, so can you let my agent know that
Unbelievable. You guys are unbelievable. Great customer service. Awesome. Great job. We need someone to help with their car seats to carry them off.
How'd you guys get on there?
Help us carry them on.
So they ended up getting off the flight.
We need your seat. I know. Listen, that's the Delta. that was a little known logo that never really got used.
Yeah, that one they scrapped.
Can you show it?
Zoom in on it.
You know, I used to be an editorial cartoonist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day. There we go. We need your. We need your seat. Oh boy.
So, just another airline controversy. Here we go. And this is sad because the United CEO had to testify before Congress. Was that Tuesday? And apologized. But these are just rules that people shouldn't be enforcing, and flights that probably shouldn't be overbooked.
Should I continue this drawing?
I mean,
This is a nightmare for the family. They should be ashamed. How can they do that, says Kathy Donaldson. I don't understand how they just pick people randomly like this. I feel bad for him and his family, Floretta. That is terrible. Oh, I thought it was a pretty good drawing. We need your seat. I am your father. No! Did you see Mark Hamill
yeah, that was
pranking
great.
fans? Like surprising them at the charity event? Joel Davis says, I would be in jail. That's terrible. You pay for a seat and end up giving up the seats you paid for. Total BS. I would take this as far as I could. Delta, your business will be judged just like United. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if people are aware of the news or watch the news. Do you think that flight attendant was aware of
She
the
must have
kerfuffle?
been. I'm sure there was some big company memo that went out. Yeah.
Sarah says he kept his cool. OMG, I would have been carried off in cuffs. Unbelievable. He paid for his seat. Sherry Taylor loves the drawing. Should I color in, like give it some more definition so we see them? What do you think is going to be the fallout from this, John?
It's going to be another lawsuit, I'm sure. I'm very curious as to what Dr. Dow, his settlement was with the United flight, because it was...
yeah, it was an undisclosed settlement,
it
wasn't
was undisclosed. So, and it's interesting because I'm sure that was undisclosed because now that anyone who gets treated in any misfortune on a flight is looking for the next payout. But you wonder how long, I mean, this is just hitting the wires today. This video is the top on Twitter and on Reddit and all out there. So I'm sure this is going to start prompting an investigation into all the details of what happened.
Right.
Interesting thing too, the guy, the father who posted the video to YouTube, he made a Gmail account. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's something like kickedoffdelta@gmail.com. He made a Gmail account specifically for this.
Yeah.
Make me get off the plane. We need your seat. Here you go, Ken. You put that, or David, you can put that one in the files.
There actually is a file.
Do we have a file going? Yeah. Should take a picture of that. Oh, you do have a file going?
It's more of a pile. I have it in my backpack. I'll give it to you.
Thank goodness I never fly. Mamie Mills, not me. Mamie Mills says that she has a phobia about planes. What is right, and that is so wrong, according to Victoria.
Yeah, remember way back when flight attendants were like cheery and made you feel at home.
Those were the days.
And now they threaten your kids with foster care.
my stepfather worked for Delta Airlines for 42 years. He started at the lowest rung, worked his way up into management. This was an earlier era of airline travel when it was still basically glamorous. People got dressed up to go on airplanes. And as a what we call non-rev family, we could not fly on a pass as a family, a Delta family, unless we looked like we were going to church in our Sunday best. And it was definitely less of a flying Greyhound can in the sky sort of environment. I mean, if there was space available, we got to go first class. And if first class was full, then we'd have to go back to coach. But, relative to income and inflation back then, first class seats were pretty expensive, so there was often open seats. Now, we didn't fly multiple times a year, like, just jetting off here and there kind of thing. We went like any normal family would. And it was definitely a different vibe, a different feeling. It was cordial and polite and nice and definitely not angry like this situation here or the one on United or so on and so forth.
Yeah, and the thing is this aggressive behavior isn't coming from the passengers, it seems. It seems like it's the policies on the flights about how they're booking seats, and something's got to change, or else this is going to happen all summer, and we're not going to see the end of it until the next shark scandal.
That, looking back on the awful, tragic events of September 11th, to view the pop culture and the media immediately prior to that, leading up to that, I mean, Time had the Summer of the Shark on its cover about a string of unrelated shark attacks in people, and that was like a cover story. That was like their top story that week, that summer. Completely unaware of what we were about to lose as a nation on September 11th. I mean, it was just like such a sharp divide between the before and the after. We still haven't recovered. Now we got people on here asking to go old school.
Old school how?
If I can't infotain you, I will give you 5 pounds of coffee. That was Ollie Fretter. Did you know his first store was in Redford on Telegraph?
Really?
I did not know that. Used to play shuffleboard at Duffy's Bar over there on 6 Mile, McNichols, if you prefer.
Okay, so we're having a question about how this family was picked. They had an older son who had a ticket. Flew earlier, so they were using that ticket for the car seat for their toddler. And the FAA rules about whose seat that is. Well, he paid for the seat, but doesn't have this child's name on it. It's a complicated one.
Did you say it's complicated? Mm-hmm. It often is. That was one of those Nancy Meyers movies, right? That the ladies love so much. It's complicated.
And here's an interesting thing about it is there's really no other option. It's not like we can just start our own airline and say that we're not going to cause these problems, because it's almost impossible with starting an airline.
Well, there was People's Express back in the 80s. They tried to start that.
Yeah.
Delta had a comment about this.
They're black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
That was Delta. I'm kidding.
When the video was timed right, they were just getting out of their seats.
Gene Wilder becoming unhinged in that scene was genuinely unsettling to me when I saw this movie as a child in the 70s. Mm-hmm. It freaked me out.
He's
so
angry.
did the Oompa Loompas in that freak-out room when they're all going psychedelic. It's like an acid trip. Which one do you like better, the Willy Wonka or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one with Johnny Depp?
Old one.
Old
Is that
one.
Willy Wonka?
You got to go with the original.
You know what I learned the
New
other
one's
day?
pretty trippy.
The boy who played Charlie in the original, that was the only movie he ever did. Only
Yeah.
acting he ever did.
Charlie Bucket,
He
yeah.
ended up becoming a veterinarian. Yeah.
You know, the Englishness of that movie always, like, that, I wouldn't say freaked me out, but like the red tiled roofs that they
Yeah.
fly over and stuff, and how it all looks extremely old and English.
Now, what's interesting though is I believe all the outdoor scenes were filmed in Berlin.
Was it Germany?
Yeah, yeah.
fun fact.
Wow.
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 Maybe I should have said European and not Englishness. John comes in out of left field. Actually, that was Germany. How do you know that? Do you have the DVD?
Yeah, that's from the commentary. No, I don't know how I know that.
He's a world traveler, Jason, okay?
Andrea says, Gene Wilder was brilliant, such an amazing man. Yes, he was. Oh my gosh, I've got to go do a tease for Live in the D here in 4 minutes.
All right. Stay classy, Detroit.
Actually, that was Germany.
Jason Carr Live was sponsored by the Mike Morris Law Firm, 855 Mike Wins.